we will have two presentations, two similar approaches. We considered Conway's game of life and how to evolve this game, how to add intelligence. So from the beginning, we have simple rules in the life. You can see my presentation, right?
We can see your slides fine, yeah?
Okay. So this is the sample of glider, one of the Conway's game life patterns. The life patterns, the life game is characterized by simple rules and creates a cellular automata. And the evolution is probably limited by the rules. And we assume that there is no probably there is possibly no probably no possibility to evolve infinitely and create new shapes according to limited rules. It was an attempt to create new three-dimensional patterns based on classical gliders, oscillators from two-dimensional. And if we have new patterns, we need new rules. New rules were developed. And using this experiment, it appeared that some of the patterns are not stable. It was hard to create a stable pattern, but the patterns still doesn't work, doesn't live intelligently. They can only work in limits of their of rules. So another attempt was to use and this is a demonstration of implementation in C using OpenGL. We have a blinker moment. It will start moving, and based on the rules, it will only move a step forward and a step to the top. So he will effectively move every to the top. And that's all what it can do, and the world is infinite. So this is all what he can do. If he will collide with another blinker, the morphology of this obstacle will change, and the movement of this obstacle will change the same way. So there was an assumption that we need external new rules that change the behavior of pattern. Therefore, there was implementation of. This is still the same. There was implemented a rotation algorithm, which can be shown here. Thanks to rotations, as we will show in a moment, we will have ability to avoid obstacle, which is marked as a green cube. This algorithm doesn't have ability to avoid this obstacle. It only shows how it could be done in the demonstration. You can see that the blinker will rotate, so he will change direction of his movement. And if an algorithm of avoiding obstacles will be implemented in next step, it will go around this green cube. Currently, obstacle avoiding is not implemented, but it's only a demonstration of idea. Yeah. So thanks to rotation, he's changing his direction of his movement, and intelligently, depending on what is before him, can choose another way. Yeah. So assuming what was shown, we can implement algorithm like ant colony optimizations or Langton's ant. And if we will imagine that a blinker in 3D can move like this ant, it will avoid obstacles and go around, not collide with any objects. And, and that the blinker should act intelligent, more intelligently than life allows. Yeah, so this is all for the first presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and we can switch to another one.
There was another approach developed to this problem. It was the implementation of walls and tunnels, basically obstacles. So at first I will present to you the context of my code, then the expectations I made and the observations I made, and I will finish by the conclusions and the suggestions. The code was made using MATLAB in an unrepeated closed environment of 100 by 100 by 100. It used Euclidean distance to put to 3D the 2D rules. So value of 1 is assigned when sharing a face with the considered cell, 1 over square of 2 for sharing an edge, and 1 over square of 3 for sharing a vertex. The walls and tunnels are implemented as non-revivable cells, and the problem is that the light will be less likely to spray around these walls because the maximum count of revivable cell is diminished. The expectations were that we could see a separation of life, maybe the death of a group which is separated due to this walls or to this tunnel, and also less stability, less general stability of the whole life, and a disturbance in the patterns. It was indeed observed that there is a disturbance in the pattern and that self-organization is kind of also disturbed. But life sometimes might find its way depending on the size of the gap. If we consider a tunnel, a cuboid that is opened on top and on the bottom, in which the light could spray. Considering that we are in a 3D environment with 26 neighbors, the gap should be at least a size 3 by 3. We have an avoidance of obstacles, as I said before, due to the fact that walls are defined as non-revivable cells. No new patterns, either long-term or short-term ones, were noticed. Generally.
13:30.
So at the end, our conclusions were that the obstacles indeed perturb life, and as Mr. Novak said, we should use external algorithms such as the ANT algorithm to make new patterns emerge, and maybe also create somehow an environment simulation with hot and cold zone in which life would be more or less likely to spread. We should also change the life algorithm itself because of this light spreading around walls problem. And maybe we can think of changing the appearance of the whole thing by building a lit cube like this one. So basically, it was all for this approach of life. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Fabio, go ahead if you want.
No, well, I was asking. So you were a group. Actually, you were a group. Or you are all in the same places. Did you work together? Because you did 2 presentations. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, we have some feedback.
Did you work together?
We worked on separate approaches.
So you are two groups.
Well, we divided the work in such a way that that students could work on certain aspects of the algorithm, of the problem itself.
So in other words, okay. I see. Network. I don't know if someone else has some question.
Anyone else? Okay, I actually have to leave right now. So if anyone has questions, please ask them. But I'm have to change room now. So if there's no more questions, okay. I think it was very nice presentations. Good work. Appreciate it. And I think we can close up the presentation session for today. We're quite over time, and they're basically changing the room here now to another video session, so I have to go. Thank you to all presenters. Thank you to all TAs. Really appreciate you staying here and helping out, and also helping out your groups. I think it's been quite a cool experience to do this Kōans this year. Does anyone have any comments, any remarks? Fabio, do you want to say anything? Can't hear you, Fabio.
Because I'm trying to reduce the noise.
Okay, now I can hear you fine.
No, okay. I also share Martin's standpoint. I think it was quite good. Quite good. And so I think everybody. We also tested the infrastructure for next edition. So I have a feeling for I don't know if other people who were here yesterday, but yesterday it was more robust. So for instance, I am exactly in the same place and with the same computer as yesterday, and today I think it was more noisy. But I think it was very good. So actually, at least 10 groups of students were able to take the challenge, and this is good because it was. So I'm really very happy with this year experience with Kōans. So, and thank you everybody, in particular, the teaching assistants also, for the efforts, and Martin shared these two last sessions. So, okay, thank you, and keep in touch because we wanted to continue next year. So,
exactly.
Thank you to the last presenters for joining today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.